Welcome. This video is called Debunking Saints and Holy Men. So there's some prominent figures on the earth called Sadhguru, S-A-D-H-G-U-R-U. Others with other names, but I'll just focus on him. He's pretty popular. And the whole idea of being a saint, which is kind of how he's regarded, a guru is a saint, same idea. And yes, he is Indian. And this idea is that the people put their belief in this man, and the man makes sacrifices in order to help the people. But it's this continuous loop of the people believing in the man and the energy that people put into the man cycling back to the people. And the lifestyle and the level of knowledge or perceived knowledge that the man has access to based on his lifestyle that is allowed based on the people believing in him gives this man access to otherworldly insights, otherworldly access, and an all-around psychedelic level of consciousness and experience. This man, Sadhguru, is experiencing the wackiest, most colorful, most really like drug-induced type of experience because of all these people believing in him, and then really he's gaining all of their individual power and energy, and therefore he's becoming this super saturated, powerful being based on all these people putting their belief into him and sending their energy his way. And then he also gets to live this extremely amazing lifestyle of just having everything come to him and having these messages kind of just stream through him, and he doesn't really have to put much effort forth. It's like he's sold his body out to be this figurehead, and now all that's left of him is this body and all these sorts of like spirits streaming through his body, based on the level of energy that he has access to and the level of the amount of dimensions and realities, non-physical, mental, spiritual realities that he has access to due to his crazy lifestyle that is allowed by all these people believing in him. And he's a guru. All he does day and night is he just talks in front of crowds of people, and he talks underneath a belief system that allows him to access these unseen dimensions, these non-physical dimensions, and be literally tripping balls without drugs at all times. And I don't want to say it's a scam, but it's just another way for a man to make a living. Really, it's just his job, and there's no difference. And his profession is to make people feel high, because they give their energy to him, and then he gives their energy back to them, but he puts some drugs in it to make them feel good. And he's said this himself. He's literally admitted this himself. I've analyzed him, I've analyzed others like him, and this is what being a saint, being a holy man really is. It's just another way to live your life and run your business. It's just a very extravagant, unique, self-sacrificing, it is self-sacrificing, it is, type of way to make a living. So if this is true, right, and all of our saints of the past were just making a living in a very unique way, and people would what would they do for the saints? The saints would get free food from people because they would give up all worldly possessions, but then what would happen? People would give them gifts. So it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So if humanity as a whole can finally come to that understanding that everyone is just making a living how they are, and same with me, like I do what I gotta do to make a living. I make videos, I pick up a job if I need it, put it down as I need it, and live my life. And I just try to, stay healthy and think deeply and pass on my deep thoughts in videos like this. And play tennis and invent new things in my mind, invent new things in the physical world, and debunk things. I want to debunk things as well. There is really no there is no such thing as mysticism. There is no such thing as anything being mystical or hidden. It used to be hidden, but now is the time. It's the apocalypse now, which just means the great revealing. That's what the apocalypse means. And that's what's happening right now. You're living in the apocalypse, which is why things are kind of crazy, and COVID and people breaking out into rage and wars and all this and pandemics. So you're living in the apocalypse right now. These are the last days of mysticism. These are the last days of things being hidden, and I'm trying to educate the world and be a part of the apocalypse, stand for the apocalypse, and educate the whole world on what's really going on. Is every single person on earth is just making a living, either in a very extravagant way or a very simple way, and that's all that's happening. But if we can all realize this, that this is all that's happening, then we can suspend all of these notions of things being mystical, and I know something you don't know, and I have all the knowledge and you don't, and we can collectively as a human race really choose to decide how we want to conduct ourselves and come together, as opposed to being, well, this is my culture and that's your culture. This is my profession, that's your profession. My job is much harder than your job, so I get paid more, and I look down on you because you can't afford my house is bigger than yours and you're in a different neighborhood. All of these divide and conquer strategies of the mind and of physical reality, I think, I'm not preaching communism, I think are very divisive and could be re-examined. But at the same time, we might all wake up, we might all go through the apocalypse and realize that we like the way things are and we just want to keep them this way. I highly disagree with that. I think as people wake up and realize that no one is special, but everyone is special in a way. And the richest person on earth and the poorest person on earth are really, it's the same concept of a life that they're going upon. It just looks differently on the outside. Everyone's making a living in their own way. If you're homeless, you beg for money and food and people give it to you, hopefully. And if you're super rich, you're hopefully being a philanthropist and feeding people with all your goods. So don't get all caught up in putting all your belief into any one person. You can just take information from people and use it or not, but I'm personally, what I'm saying here is don't fall head over heels for anything, because then it will own you, and then you're creating this power dynamic of someone who is really your equal, but you're forcing them to act superior to you, which actually makes them uncomfortable and forces them to be like this content creator. Oh, I gotta push out more content because my viewers are hungry and they think they're less than me, when really we're one and the same. People are smarter, people are dumber, fine, but beneath all that, we're one and the same. And what's been happening is the smarter people have been exploiting the dumber people, but I think everyone's kind of wising up nowadays, and they're kind of getting, the dumb people are kind of learning what the smart people know, and the smart people are starting to understand kind of why they are the way they are and why they feel the way they feel, and now they're kind of realizing, I should be the one to kind of reveal all these secrets that I think, or have previously thought, only smart people have access to. So it will be interesting to see how humans behave themselves. Not talking down on humans in any way. This is how I've felt for a long time. I felt like an outcast, kind of seeing the world turn and seeing all the problems with it, and seeing these power dynamics that are really just a bunch of people who are one and the same, propping up others to be their leaders and be these figureheads and these gurus and these saints. And on one level, people like that experience and like to have that power dynamic where some people feel less powerful and feel hopeless, and other people feel powerful and in control. I disagree with that. I want to uncover all that, and I think humanity as a whole needs to come together and decide what we want to do with ourselves. What do we believe in? Do we believe in the human race surviving and thriving and working together? Do we believe in continuing to tell the story of rich and poor, good and evil, and divide and conquer, and just, hopefully we continue to, do all right as a human race? But I think the best way to keep the human race surviving and thriving into the future is to get rid of all the mysticism, get rid of all the secrets, get rid of this weird power dynamic of of really content creators and content consumers, and just have everyone be informed and working together towards a common goal. And that's not communism. Communism is a whole system of taxation and equalizing, forceful equalizing. It doesn't need to be that way. So I'm going to end the video here. It's something to think about, but this is what we're on the horizon of. People are just learning more and more about how things work. And as we learn more and more about how things work, we have more power to change the way things work, or simply re-examine it and reinterpret it, and then come to a conclusion on who we want the leaders to be, who we want the followers to be, and have everyone agree upon it, so there's no more anger between the rich and the poor. If we want to have rich and poor, we need to have an agreement where the rich are like, yes, like we're working harder than you so we get more money, and the poor are like, we don't want to work that hard, so we're okay with, you know, having the bare minimum. That's what we need. We just need everyone to be informed and in agreement upon what's happening in the world. And that's it. And that's the apocalypse for you. That's all it is. See you in the next video. This is definitely a break from my immortality stuff. There's lots of stuff out there, guys. Lots of stuff you can access, and perhaps as you access these states of being, you gain insights into who you really are and what you really resonate with. Maybe you, I'll end it there. I personally, I disagree with trying to program ourselves to be mortals. I think all humans should choose to program themselves to be immortal. But for some reason, I personally disagree with people choose to die. And that's an interesting topic that I want to continue to talk about, because based on my experiences, I've accessed, you know, the powers of my mind, and I'm able to command my body with my mind to heal itself. So that's pretty important, in my opinion, for everyone to know about. So I'm going to continue talking about it, and hopefully it spreads. The message spreads, and humans finally choose to stop being mortals and to mentally choose to program their bodies to not die and be immortal. And what a wonderful world that would be if we can get everyone on the same page to no longer choose to die simply because we don't believe that there's anything else besides getting old and dying. People just don't think that way. They just don't consider that possibility. And that's why I make these videos, to put that possibility on the table and to educate people why it is 100% real and available to every single human on Earth to live forever, to not have to die, to regenerate infinitely, and to live the most spectacular life ever. Shutting down. Jacob Durnell. See you guys very soon. I mean it, guys. You can be immortal just by choosing to be in your mind. It's right there in front of you. Just pick up your power. It's on the table. Pick it up. That's all you got to do. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Like, comment, subscribe.